Welcome back to McRaeathon 2025. I'm your host, Broken Hyperlink. We are raising money this year for Get Well Gamers UK, a UK-based charity that aims to give joy to kids currently in hospitals with things like giving them games and consoles to play as they recover. So if you have any donations that you want to make before the end of the day, please do so soon because this is the last run of day one. And with that, would you like to take it away?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone, and welcome to, well, it's Sleeping Dogs. It's not the part of Sleeping Dogs you think it might be. Let me just get a drink. I don't know, just get a drink. Stay hydrated, by the way. Remember to stay hydrated. So this is Sleeping Dogs, but it's not the campaign. There are actually bonus objectives you can do, like bonus minigames, such as racing minigames, and that's what we'll be doing right now. There are, I think, like 21 races total, so we have a lot to go through. I say we just get started. I'll do a countdown for the timer. Basically, I start the timer when I start the first race, so I'll do a little countdown. We will start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So, Sleeping Dogs, you might know it as True Crime Hong Kong. You might know it as a GTA clone. It's a silly little game. The bugs are part of the experience. We are driving a fancy red car. I completely forgot to do something, but that's fine. I have my own music because in-game music has DMCA, so I'll just be playing music from like Mario Kart. Anyway, there's a lot to explain. I'll get to it as we get to it. I have some music just to keep it a little entertaining. Otherwise, you're listening to the whirring engines, which is pretty good still, but... Alright, careful. Okay, so I got a little distracted because I forgot to start the music. It's okay. Anyway, welcome to Sleeping Dogs. So yeah, 21 races that you can do. I am driving a car that's pretty fast, and with this one you can do some crazy things. Sleeping Dogs driving is not per se the best. It's not like a sim racing setup. Works fine on controller or keyboard, depending on what you like. But the fun thing about it is you not only get to steer, but you can also dash a little to go forward, sideways. It's part of the game where you have to ram into other vehicles. But for the racing... Oh, and you can also slide. Do some drifting. It's actual intended game mechanics. And the cool thing is, the slide is very broken in certain ways. We are not going to be doing that here, though, since we're doing all races, no major skips. Very important. I didn't actually learn most of the skips, but the difference between no major skips and doing all the skips in this race alone is like a minute. So instead of having a 2-minute race, you would have a race that's like 1 minute. There are some insane skips. Some of them where you the race is like 5 seconds. It's that silly. Anyway, that's the first race done. I need to quickly get some things up on my screen again. Okay, there we go. Had to tab out for a moment. So we go to the second race, which is Water Street. You might notice some of my times are really short. It's because I did do some of the skips in practice in the ILs. But yeah, we're not allowed to skip anything in this category. Anything major, at least. The start of this one's a little funky. So we're gonna try to avoid the traffic. Oh, okay. Nice. Anyway, yeah. Oh. Alright, there we go. So yeah, basically, we have to drive as fast as we can through all 21 tracks, but we're not gonna be using just this one car. Cool thing about Sleeping Dogs is vehicles have like a class, so different races have different classes. And I think this is the C class right now. We're gonna be moving up to the A class. And we also have bikes. And another secret vehicle I won't mention because it will be played at the very end. I did not actually hit the curb there. Interesting. Sometimes there's physics moments where you bump into the curb and get sent flying. Luckily it didn't happen this time. I am using the dash to get through obstacles without losing too much speed. There we go. A little bit of a rocky start, but that's fine. Haven't done a marathon run in a while. There we go. Mailman. This one's really funny because every single other... Oh wait, I'm one step ahead, whoops. The next one is really funny because everyone has a small, little efficient car, and I just get to drive this beefy sedan. I guess it's a sedan. Luckily, I didn't have bad traffic here. There is traffic RNG, and it can just do whatever. They will just drive through the barriers on the left and the right without any care. So, if I bump into traffic, that's random. Do a little bit of dashing. Alright. If I accidentally hold left or right while doing the dash, I will get sent flying diagonally in that direction, and I kind of don't want that. So we'll try not to do that by accident. It is faster to go to do some dashes at full speed, though. That was really fast, I think. That might be a PB. ILPB. It was an ILPB. Oh, that's nice. Cool. So here's Mailman. I was thinking about doing this with a small car, but we're speedrunners. We gotta go fast. Let's just do this with the fast car. It's a little bit of RNG at the start here. If the cars want to behave, they'll let me through. I'm so sorry. They have insurance. Well, okay, there we go. Yeah, it could have been better. Try to go here full speed. What I like about Mailman is it's very tight in execution, but once you get it, it's really fun. You do have to go through these narrow street corridors, and that's... Whoa, that's an unfortunate car spawn. A limousine, right at the corner. I'm gonna cut the corner here. Ooh. Okay, that's fine. We make it work. Somehow I didn't hit a single obstacle there. That's kind of good. Ooh, there we go. Now I want to see if I can get this. I have to dash here at a specific angle. Oh, yeah, okay. I was a little too early. If I did that exactly right, I would have just gone clean over there, kept all my speed, but I hit the corner, unfortunately. It happens. That one's really tough at the end. You can only do it once. Alright. Dockyard. So here's where we get to use bikes for the first time. And bikes are really fun. They're very nimble. There's one unfortunate downside to the bikes, which is why the estimate is a little bit generous. If I hit something with a hard enough force, I will fall off the bike and instantly lose the race, and I don't want that. So we're going to be very careful not to hit any walls or something with high speed. That's what we don't want. Just doing wheelies for good luck, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. I have to be really careful here. I might... Ooh, okay. Oh. Alright, I got lucky. I lost a bit of speed, but we're fine. Slow-mo, alright. Now instead of going all around, we're just gonna go through here and skip all of that. Just like that. You don't have to go all the way around, but you can just go through that little tiny gap. Alright. There's not really much to say about the mechanics. I've mentioned all of it already, pretty much. I think technically, on some bikes, if you wheelie and hold handbrake, which is what I'm doing right now, you go a little faster. But I haven't looked into it really a lot. So it's just speculations right now. It looks cool, though. So the goal for this one is I try to cut as many corners as possible, and there's a little bit of a shortcut here as well. I have to try and maintain as much speed as I can, whilst cutting the corners. And we go through here. Whoop, try to avoid that. It's a very short race, short and simple. And hooray! A lot of the AI opponents in this game are not very good at the racing. That was a pretty sick PB, I gotta say. I have been forgetting to split. That's fine. I keep life split open for myself. Now we're getting to use the Terra GT in Lost, and this race is pretty fun. The Terra GT is like really beefy. It's a little class higher than the first car you were using. Doesn't steer super well, but just enough, and it's got a lot of top speed. So it's a really nice car. You have to be careful around this corner. Okay, that's good. Now, if anyone's wondering where are the sleeping dogs, I don't know. They're probably in bed. I don't want to wake them up. Cool. I have to avoid the fire hydrants because they can send my car flying into the air. I don't want that, actually. I forgot to turn on streamer mode on Discord. Whoopsie. But there's no actually, wait, yeah. I did forget. Wait, let me go do that real quick after this race. Ooh. Have to cut these corners. Unfortunate traffic RNG. Otherwise, I would have cut that corner a little more sharply. I'm gonna drift a little bit here. That was still pretty solid, if I have to say so myself. Alright, streamer mode. Where's my Discord? Streamer mode. On. Hell yeah. Pardon my French. Alright, there we go. So now we go to Crippling Road. Crippling Road, we used that same car. What was that barrel doing? So there's a weird thing with this game, where the barrels, they just love being flung around at high FPS. This game behaves really weirdly above 60 FPS, let me tell ya. I'm playing at 144, I think. Sharp turn. The start of this race was quite difficult. The opponents can get in your way, but luckily we didn't have too much trouble there. I'm gonna do some dashes to go fast. We're just racing through the streets of Hong Kong. And because this is Hong Kong, we technically have to drive left, which I'm not used to. I'm used to driving on the right side because of Europe. Oh, there's traffic. Okay. I'm going here. Trying to cut the corners as much as I can, but I don't want to hit a bus. I actually did hit a bus here in traffic in practice, which is just unfortunate RNG. Ooh. If I let go of the throttle a little, the steering on this car gets a little better. It still isn't very great though, so I have to slow down a lot sometimes. I'm gonna cut here. Now it's just one straight road to the end. There we go. Did a little bit of a sideways dash there. There's a funny little strat that you can do with the dashes that we won't really be using. If you drift to like one direction and then hold the other direction on your control pad and then mash the dash button, you can just go flying across the road. It's really difficult to pull off, and I think only some cars are good with it, but it's really effective. You can just go zooming across. It's amazing. I don't think this car can do it though. I have a tight little corner. Yeah, it could have been better. We're taking a detour, and that's why this race is called Detour. Hello, bus. Don't worry about the bus drivers. There we go. Random barrel? Where's the random barrel? Oh no, we won't be seeing that until later. There will be plenty of random barrels flying around. Try not to lose speed. The last half of this race is very, very tricky because there's lots of obstacles in your way. Like here. I just avoided all of them somehow. That is so much better than practice. Okay. In practice, I was bumping into everything. But I'm kind of happy that that went well. There we go. We are now in the AliExpress, as I like to call it. Don't worry about how my time is 5 seconds. If I wasn't doing no major skips, I would just turn around and finish the race. There's nothing stopping you there. You can just turn around and finish the race. If I'm plenty far ahead, I'll show it off as like a bonus. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get ready to say it. That's never happened before. Yeah, okay. Now I don't know how this will go, because usually I am in first place by now. Huh. Never had them block my route like that. Okay, I think we're fine. The rubber banding is actually really huge, so if you're really far behind, they'll just let you catch up again. Do a little wheelie. I am gonna do a little bit of a jump here, which is a bit scary. Okay, that's fine. Cut through here. I'm going a slightly different route because I had such a weird start. There is a low chance that I can bump into traffic and fall off the bike, but the chances are really low, not zero. Okay. I almost finished second there. Wow. Alright. That's fine. It happens. Wait for this. Alright. So we go to starboard. Apparently you don't pronounce it as starboard. I just know starboard. The pronunciation of this one's funny. The opponents can be really chaotic here at the start. I'd say since this is just another really long bike race through the central part of Hong Kong, if our host has anything to say, now's a good time.
Yeah, I can tell you more about the charity we have risen money for. So, Yellow Gamers is a registered charity in Scotland that operates around the UK, who, as I mentioned before, are dedicated to bringing electronic entertainment to children's hospitals, hospices and other facilities for the benefit of entertainment and pain relief. As well as that, we would also like to just shout out NSG for providing the technical support and restreaming services for this marathon. As well as that, you may be interested in attending the next event, which will be NSG Fall 2025 in September 19th to 21st of 2025. And if you can't wait that long, there's other events such as UKSG Green 25 happening in late May, or BSG Annual 25, which happens in the Benelux, for those unaware. So if you can't wait until September for NSG, there's those events, which are a lot sooner. So back to you, Ugyuu.
Alright, alright. I had a very unfortunate oopsie there that I completely forgot about. Sometimes the physics just freak out here and you get sent flying straight to the moon, which happened. So I was sent into orbit and I fell off my bike and I had to redo the race. So, okay. I have actually had that happen before, so yeah. That was interesting. I should have kept that in mind, but that's one of those things that maybe happens once and then never again. But I guess it happens twice now. Ah, sleeping dogs. The bug, like I said, the bugs are a part of the experience. It's a very silly low game. Glitches, but just makes it fun. Here we go. Do a little wheelie. Now, one thing about the wheelie and handbrake is it really alters the handling. It makes it really grippy. It's very weird, but it kind of helps there. There we go. I did set a generous estimate for moments like that, in case I get really weird restart. I can't speak. In case I get really weird things that just make me lose the race, and I have to redo it. That's why I set a slightly generous estimate. There we go. The start of this one is a little finicky. Now, I would have been playing the radio from in-game, if possible. It would have been possible, but it likes to change what station you're listening to whenever you start a race, so I had to do this as a backup, unfortunately. The trick with this race is maintain as much speed as possible and cut all the corners, which is not easy. During practice here, I hit a car and I fell off. There we go. So instead of going there... Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'd rather have that than falling off. Ooh. Losing a little bit of speed. There we go. Alright. Now we're out of that one. Oof. Definitely went better than the previous race. I don't think we'll have silly little glitch moments like that again. Now we're going to Midtown. This one's fun. We get to use the fastest car in the game. Previously, I was using the police bike, which is probably the best one for these. I cannot go right here. That opponent always drives to the right, and I would get stuck if I do go to the right there. The thing about the DZS90 or the DZS90, however you want to say it, probably the best car in the game. It has turrets. Where am I going? It has turrets. It has an EMP that I won't be using, that you can use to disable other cars. Its acceleration is just really good. And it's very grippy. So it's basically perfect for this. The only annoying thing is you have to do a whole chain of missions to actually unlock it in your garage, which is fine. I've had to do it twice because I lost my 100% save. There we go. So cut the corner here, not too much. I hit the curb. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna cut through here. That's fine. Now we're nearing the end of the race. I don't know why my guns are glitched out like that. Just noticed that. Alright. Here we go. Then we go to unconventional. There's gonna be a lot of these at S90 action here. It's just the best car in the game, basically. I like it a lot. It's very fun. I'm gonna go here. For some reason, the drivers like to instantly turn around at the start of this one. No idea why. I'm gonna try to get ahead. Very nice. Alright. Cut the corners. Careful. Alright. Doing a small little jump so I don't get too much slow-mo. Helps save a little bit of time. Alright. I'm gonna cut the corner here. Whoa. I guess I can talk a little bit about what Sleeping Dogs actually is about. Like, if you were to play the story, and not this, the racing part of it, the actual story is pretty much like a GTA story, where you are an undercover cop, and you're trying to shut down the gangs. And throughout all that, a lot of weird stuff will happen. A lot of explosions. And then a lot of driving as well. There's actually I think 2 or 3 of the races in the game are part of the story, which is pretty fun. There we go. What do we do now? The Queen. Wait, unconventional? Did I skip one? Did I skip Wall Street? I think I skipped Wall Street. There is a chance that I just skipped Wall Street. Let me take a look. I did just skip this one. I think. Alright, well, let's do Wall Street. I don't know if that makes this run valid, but we'll see. It also happens because I fell off the bike. I will check if that still makes the run valid if I had to restart one. No idea, actually. Wall Street has a lot of these sharp turns throughout the central part of Hong Kong. But luckily, you can just squeeze through there. Most of the turns, at least. In here, just barely. Alright. Definitely here. I have to be careful, though. Ooh. Okay. Get some money, sure. I'm gonna slow down here. I do want to cut through here, actually. There we go. Nice. Okay, now we're fine. We actually did all the tracks. I hope I didn't redo one by accident. There we go. Now we're going to the Queen, which is a pretty fun race. We finally get to go on the mountain roads. And these are very windy, a lot narrower than normal, but very exciting races, definitely. Starting off here. There's, of course, always going to be traffic RNG. Instead of going here, I will just go left, shortcut. We're just taking a dirt path, because it's faster. Here's another turn that actually is on the map for some reason. I could have taken that path, but I'm actually not used to it. I don't know if it's faster. Now that I think about it, it might be. Ooh, okay, traffic. So instead of going right, we're going left because it leads me directly into this shortcut. I have to slow down a little bit because we're going downhill here, and there could be traffic. There is a little bit of traffic. Alright, drift, nice. Yeah, a lot of these mountain roads are really tight turns. I have to slow down a lot. But the acceleration of this car makes it pretty easy to recover right after. Pretty much back at full speed immediately. Ooh, that was kind of unfortunate. I have to be careful here not to run into the walls because I could immediately lose all of my speed if I do. The collision is weird. I'm being really careful. Woo. And now we're past the mountain road. We're going to the right, back to the left. I think I missed a shortcut. I don't know. Oh, whoops. I should not have gone here, actually. This was the one I wasn't supposed to take. But it's fine. Whoop. There we go. Now we do one more turn, and we're out of there. All right, cool. All right, so you like the mountain road. We're gonna do another one on the mountain road. I don't know what the NPCs are doing. They're acting really silly. I'm telling you, the high FPS, it's doing weird things to the game. NPCs are just flying around, getting stuck in places, in pillars. What? start of this one is a bit tricky. Aye. Luckily I didn't hit that car. I let go of the throttle a little too early. There we go. Now I am playing this on mouse and keyboard. Controller would work just as well. I am just used to doing this now. I tried to figure out if I... Oh, that's unfortunate. Tried to figure out if I wanted to do controller or mouse and keyboard. Ultimately just went for this. Because there are some parts of the game where you have to use a weapon. And just aiming is easier on that, of course. That was weird. Alright. Now we have to go through here. Small jump. And there we are. Nice. Just tiny little jump. We'll see it again very soon, actually, that jump. Now we're doing Kamikaze. This is probably my favorite race. Because you're taking the hill roads, and you're essentially going in reverse. So all of those roads uphill are now downhill and sharp turns. So they're very scary, but they're really satisfying to go through. Gonna bump into the wall there a little. I probably should stick to the left so I don't hit traffic. Hello, large car. There we go. Ooh. Traffic RNG. Definitely hasn't been that bad so far. Usually I would have bumped into traffic by now. But it's been pretty good this run. Ooh. Let go of the throttle. There we go. This part of the track is tricky. I have to slow down, otherwise I fly into that wall. That's the only part I have to be really careful of. I don't want to flip this car because then it's pretty much impossible to get back up. Going in here. Shortcut leads to the other part of the road, and then I'm straight back on the road again. Turn around here. I could have taken that path, but I am fine with not taking it. There we go. Oh, you remember the shortcut we had at the start? We go back here again. What? Some weird jumps. I keep forgetting to dash in these because the steering is much scarier here. So I always forget to dash in the later races. That was pretty good. That was actually not that bad, if I look at the time. The runtime in the end, it all counts. It's all about the in-game time you get. So now we do Enduro. This is a 5-minute bike race. And there's like 16 opponents, and it's very chaotic at the start. Oh, there's 12 of them, sorry. But it's very chaotic at the start. I'm gonna cut through here. And I'm gonna cut this here. They will rubber band in front of me here. I've always wanted to try and see if they could push me from behind, but I've never successfully been able to do that. Here's where I get ahead. Try to maintain as much speed as possible for these turns. Now there's one more scary part coming up. If I fall off my bike throughout any of this, I will have to redo the race, which could lose me a lot of time. So let's try to avoid that. I have to pay attention here. There's a very, very infamous turn here, like a very evil turn. If I go through here full speed, I hit that wall on the left. So slow down, then you'll be fine. Slow down a little here. Traffic, what are you doing? There we go. I accidentally started this race casually as one of the first, and I didn't know it was 5 minutes. So there I was on a bike for 5 minutes. Ooh. There we go. Now we're going for the mountain roads. Now the good thing about the police bike is it has a really good top speed and it handles really well. I can just cut through all of these turns like a hot knife through butter. It's so smooth. It's such a good bike. Super fun to use. Of course, I do have to be careful here. I don't want to hit traffic. This is a very scary part because I cannot see where traffic is. Can't see anything coming up. I have died here before. A lot of blind turns, unfortunately. Oh, couldn't see that car. Oh, I keep forgetting. I could probably use the stairs as a shortcut here. I always forget. It's like right there. There's a staircase there that you can just go through. It's probably faster. Oh, okay. I had just enough speed. Now we're on a really long highway stretch. It's just a bunch of driving on the highway. And we still have like half of this race to go. This is probably another good time. If our host has anything to say, this is the last time to do it.
Yep, I can mention that tomorrow we do have a bid war for the Grand Tour, which is our second to last run of the event. You have 3 options to choose from: Funeral for a Ford, Legends and Luggage, and Well-Aged Scotch. So if you want to see one of those episodes in particular, you can donate, give All Gamers a nice little helping hand, as well as voting for which you would like to see. Currently, Funeral for a Ford is in the lead with £70 and 50p. And second is Well-Aged Scotch with £10, and Legends and Luggage is at 0. So if you want to change that up, get your donations in. When you're doing that, select your bid war and which option you want. And maybe tomorrow we'll see a shake up in things. Who knows? It's all down to yous.
Maybe, maybe. We'll probably see a comeback for the Scotch one. I feel like it could definitely get in the lead tomorrow. But we'll see.
Really.
There we go. So now we're past the highway just in time, like perfect timing. We're done with the highway into the last 20% of Enduro. And the last part of this is a bunch of tight turns. Hooray! Now we're back in the main area of the game where you first start off. And yeah, lots of tight turns through narrow corridors, suburbs, and the streets. Like here. Ooh. And then we go over here. I have to slow down a bunch here. That's fine. Really sharp turn here. Actually, it looks sharp, but it actually isn't that bad. That was surprisingly good. This one's a lot worse, I feel like. There we go. And now we just cut through here. And we're almost done. Alright. So you remember there was a secret vehicle that I talked, but I didn't actually mention what the secret vehicle was. So there is a secret vehicle that is in the last race, which is coming up. That secret vehicle is not a bike. It's not a car. It doesn't have a class either. I'm not going to say what it is, because it's a boat. We're doing boat racing now. So yeah, this is the last race. We're gonna go right over here. For some reason, the opponents can try to ram their boat into me. I've had it happen. I don't know why. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, of course. That's what I mean. They just try to ram into my boat. I don't know why. But luckily we escaped that. Alright, there we go. So this is a fairly easy race. You can very generously go out of the borders, like what I'm doing now, and the game won't mind. Why is there a sunken boat? I have not seen that. before, but it's probably always there. Rubber banding moments. So I will mention ahead of now, when the final like race finished pop-up appears, which is after the fade out, and when we're fading back into the apartment, that's when the time is. I will say, I will give like a short countdown or something. So it's not yet. So after I finish the race, it'll fade to black, and then it'll show Wei Shen, the main character, again, and that's when time is. We're almost done. Going through here. Right, it's Wave Racer. There we go, and that's the last race done. And time. There we go. All right, so that's all 21 racetracks in Sleeping Dogs. Silly little game. I don't know why those physics moments happened, but the game can act very weirdly sometimes. I guess as a bonus, I'll show you one of those super duper shortcuts. Because this race that I did earlier, which took me about 1:20, can be done in like 5 seconds. This is how you do it. I think I took the wrong bike, actually. Wait, yeah, let me redo it. Hold on. I took the wrong bike. So basically, you take a bike that's thin, and this is how you skip this entire race. Drift to turn around, go through here, and that's that. That's the entire race. Done in like 6 seconds. If you don't get stuck, yeah. If you don't get stuck, you can do that in like 5 seconds. It's so silly. Anyway, that was Sleeping Dogs, all races with no major skips. There were some bumps on the way, but hope you enjoyed it. And with that, I'm signing off for now.
Yep, thank you for that run. Always great to see people finding ways of making runs that fit this event. So, you know, you doing races like this, stuff like stunt jumps and all, it's always interesting to see how people can come up with their own stuff. Where can people find you, and do you have any shoutouts you would like to do?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitch, just twitch.tv/ugyuu. I'm on Blue Sky, I think, as just like ugyuu.bluesky.social. I'll probably change that soon. I make art sometimes on Newgrounds. Sometimes. I do a lot of speedrunning and rhythm gaming and random stream stuff, so feel free to hang out if you like weird games, weird speedruns, and rhythm games. And I'm also at BSG next week, as I'm part of the scheduling for BSG. Definitely look forward to BSG. I think that's all. That's all I have to say.
No worries. Well, thank you once again for your run. We are going to go down into mission as we just close up for the night, folks. So if you're still with us, you may as well stick around for the last few minutes. So we'll see you all in a few.